In his thirst for knowledge, Dr. Jekyll experimented with his own body by swallowing a diabolical chemical mixture. His hair grew wildly, his features distorted as his mind was claimed by his evil alter ego, and he stalked into the fog-bound streets of London with murder in his heart. He was now the heinous Mr. Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, well, I look like a woman, but I guess it ain't true. My personality splits in two. Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. I guess I'm just a Jekyll and Hyde. I'm going steady with Mary Lou. Oh, she's so sweet and our love. Everything's right when we kiss goodnight, but the minute I get out of her sight, suddenly the devil in me starts to rage. And it's the wild kind of loving is what I crave. I wanna party down, I wanna have a ball. Instead of loving one, I wanna love them all. Want the kind of loving that shakes my brain. I wanna love them all till I go insane. Jekyll and Hyde, Jekyll and Hyde. I guess I'm just a Jekyll and Hyde. Everything's fine when she's by my side, but the devil's gonna get me by and by. I'm racing around in a hopped-up car, picking up girls in every bar, drinking, gambling, cheating too. Oh, that's what the devil would have me do. Jekyll and Hyde, Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. I'm just a Jekyll and Hyde. A Jekyll and Hyde.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. May God have mercy on the soul of this man.
Man? Did he say man? There wasn't a man in that box. That was a monster.
And God won't have mercy on his soul either, because Edward Hyde never had a soul. Edward Hyde, you have been buried in an unmarked grave like a common murderer. Let no man mourn your passing. Cover the grave.
A very happy birthday indeed, and your future. May it be even more prosperous and successful.
To Henry.
To Henry.
My dear friends, thank you. From the very depths of my heart.
Well, Henry, you're a man with the world at your feet. All of England has come to know of your brilliant achievements. So tell us, what will you do next?
I cannot give you the exact details yet, but it has to do with the workings of the human mind.
But, my dear Jekyll, you're with trusted friends here. Not a word of what you tell us will escape this room.
Oh, do tell us, Henry. It all sounds fascinating.
Very well, then, I'll tell you something of it. I have a theory that the human mind is made of two parts. One part good, and the other part evil. And that throughout the lives of all human beings, there is a constant battle between the two parts. Good against evil.
My dear Jekyll, I'm afraid I just cannot agree with you. It's my opinion people are born good or born bad. Simple as that. Mark my words.
The truth is that neither of us knows. But just suppose that I'm right. Just suppose. And that by the use of drugs, it was possible to separate good and evil.
And then what, Jekyll? What purpose would it serve?
Don't you see? We just might be able to remove the evil from man. The creation of the perfect human being. A being without the influence of evil. A whole society based only on good.
Oh, what are you saying, Henry? You've taken leave of your senses? I've never heard of such balderdash and poppycock in my life. They're absolute rubbish.
Happy birthday, Dr. Jekyll, from us all. None of us could work for a finer master than you in all England. God bless you, and many happy returns.
Happy birthday,
What a lovely evening.
Yes, Henry, delightful night. Thank you.
Well, good night, Henry. Charming evening, huh? Charming. But, I'd put all those mad notions of good and evil aside. It won't work, you know. Dangerous, too.
I'll bear it in mind. Good night, and thank you. You are good friends. Our good friend Lanyon wants proof, eh? He doesn't think we are a mixture of good and evil? Now, the last of the ingredients. Lucky to find it. You are about to witness a miracle. Only your eyes will see what might indeed frighten the devil himself. You're a lucky man, Jekyll. A good doctor, born rich, wanting for nothing, able to help the sick and the poor. At last, on the brink of a discovery that will astound the world. If this experiment works, I will have separated the two parts within me. It will free my evil nature and leave me with my good self. That should put an end to Lanyon's scorn once and for all. If I fail, then I will die, and you alone can tell. God help me. Make it work.
Free at last. Now I can do as I please.
Central London. Killer strikes on London Bridge. Murder in Central London. Killer strikes on London Bridge.
Oh, if only they knew. If only they knew. But you know, don't you? Can you hear me, Dr. Jekyll?
Yes, I can.
I have an important task for you, Jekyll. First, I want you to write a will, leaving all your money to me. Should anything happen to you, like disappearing...
Hyde, you're a monster.
Do as I say, Jekyll. Play your stronger self. I command you.
To whom it may concern, this is the last will and testament of myself, Dr. Henry Jekyll. In the event of my death or disappearance, Mr. Edward Hyde will be my sole beneficiary.
You see, something terrible was happening to Dr. Jekyll. Hyde was taking over Jekyll's mind and his fortune.
What a horrible man, Nanny. Did Hyde do more bad things?
Yes, he did, again and again. But each time he would disappear afterwards, and no one knew who he was or where he went. Except, of course, Dr. Jekyll. Poor man, he works so hard. He needs a good holiday, if you ask me.
Don't touch that.
I only wanted to clean up, sir.
Don't you know to leave my study alone?
No, sir.
I'll supervise the cleaning of my study.
Oh,
Yes,
Doctor.
One more thing. From time to time, an associate of mine who is helping me will come to visit. A Mr. Edward Hyde. I may not always be here when he calls, but I want him to have the freedom of my home and my study.
Oh,
Yes,
sir.
Treat him as you would me. He won't disturb you. In fact, he will have his own keys to come and go as he pleases. Otherwise, the door of my study will be locked. Poole, I want this hand-delivered to my friend, Mr. Utterson, the lawyer.
Very good, sir.
Oh, dear God, what have I done? What have I done?
A letter for you, sir. Personal, from Dr. Jekyll.
Ah, thank you, guest. Good grief.
What on earth's the matter, sir?
This is Jekyll's last will and testament. He's left everything to a complete stranger. A certain Edward Hyde.
Hyde.
Jekyll disappears again. Extra! Extra, extra! Read all about it! Don't go murdered!
Did you hear that, Enfield? Another murder. When will it all end?
Goodness knows. The police seem powerless. The brute seems to vanish into thin air. Not even a clue.
Yes, shocking business.
Have you ever noticed that door before?
Yes. Why do you ask?
There was a nasty incident one night. I was coming home late, stopped at a pub to warm up.
Get out of my way! 2 beers, lovely. Bottoms up.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Stop me if you dare.
Boy, come back here.
A few of us chased him to that door, where he disappeared.
But that house...
That house belongs to a monster who would attack women and old men, a devil of a man. I saw him do it myself.
You must be mistaken.
No, there's no mistake.
What do you know of this fiend you speak of?
An evil creature. He has a fearful face and cares little for his fellow man.
Do you know his name?
Yes, I found out later by chance. It's Edward Hyde.
Edward Hyde.
Yes, Hyde. Not much of a name either, eh?
Enfield, it could be the name of the very devil himself.
Well then, what brings you here?
A matter of common interest. Our old friend, Henry.
Ah, yes. I'm getting very tired of this nonsense he talks. Good and evil, 2 parts to the mind. It's all balderdash, you know.
I must confess, it rather spoiled my evening the night of his birthday. Quite frightening, really.
Precisely. And it's all such unscientific rubbish. I find it disagreeable.
You don't see any value in this experiment?
Absolutely not. It's impossible. We might as well try to fly to the moon. Impossible. But how can anyone expect to separate the good and evil in man?
I know, a ridiculous suggestion. By the way, did you ever meet a friend of his? An Edward Hyde?
No, never heard of him.
I'm sorry, sir. Dr. Jekyll must have gone out.
With Mr. Hyde?
I don't rightly know, sir. Mr. Hyde has his own keys. He comes and goes all the time. But we see little of him in this part of the house. Is there a message?
No, I'll call again. I would like to meet him, one way or another. I'll catch him if I have to stay out in the cold all night. Mr. Hyde.
It's me. What do you want?
I'm an old friend of Dr. Jekyll. My name is Utterson. I'd like to come in and talk to you and Jekyll.
Jekyll's away from home. How did you know me?
He spoke of you.
That's a lie. I know he doesn't talk about me.
Be good enough to tell Jekyll I called.
It's as well we met. As Jekyll's solicitor, you may want to contact me sometime.
Oh, poor Utterson. What am I doing to my friends? If only they knew.
Dr. Jekyll? Dr. Jekyll? Dr. Jekyll, it's Annie. I've brought you morning tea.
Leave it there, Annie. I'll get it in a minute.
Will I bring you morning tea, sir? Oh, I'm glad he wasn't up there with the doctor. I got a real fright, I did, seeing him here this morning in the house.
He gives me the creeps. I can't see what the master wants with him.
I never saw such an ugly face.
Like the devil himself. Mark my words, love. There's something terrible going on in this house.
The longer we live together, the harder it is for me to control Hyde. If Hyde takes over my body as well, I will have to give up all the good things of my life, all my hopes for the future. As Hyde, I have no friends. I'm hated and feared. My double life is becoming impossible. I cannot continue as Hyde. I must choose my better self. Be rid of him forever.
I'm glad I came by. You've been looking much better lately. More like your old self.
I'm not so sure. I can't help feeling restless. I'm beginning to think I need a change.
Well, perhaps a holiday. You shouldn't work so hard.
Now, that's not what I mean. I'm afraid you'll never understand. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my study, urgently. 3 times the dose. That's got to stop him coming back.
Dr. Jekyll, are you all right? It's Poole and Bradshaw, sir.
Go away. Leave me alone. I'm all right. Just leave. Go away.
Mystery Killer 9. Police on Edward Hyde. Extra, extra. Killer vanishes.
I had to come. You must have heard the news.
Of course. The paper boys are shouting it from the street corners.
I need to be sure, Henry, that you're not hiding the fiend. I fear the murder weapon was your own walking stick, stolen from you, no doubt. If you were not my friend and client, I'd have to report that to the police.
Oh, you mustn't do that. Hyde's not here. I will never see him again, I swear to you. Look. Dear Henry, I know you will be shocked at all I have done. You're well rid of me. I will disappear, and I promise you will never hear from me again.
I'd like to keep this if I may. Now, there's one more thing I must know. Did Hyde tell you what to write in that will of yours? Then there's no doubt. He meant to murder you too.
I think I'll take a walk, Poole. I've been stuck in the house too long. Now I feel like some fresh air.
I'm glad you're better, sir. A lovely day for a stroll.
Bring me pen and paper right away, and I'll call when I'm ready. I'll need someone to deliver a couple of letters, urgently. To Dr. Hasty Lanyon.
My instructions from Dr. Jekyll, sir, are to open that door, whatever the cost, even if it means breaking it down. I'm sure I don't understand. I'm worried about the master.
Yes, I understand your fears, Poole. When did he leave the house?
This morning, sir. He said he wanted some fresh air. He was only going to the park and back.
Yeah, well, he obviously got caught up somewhere and needs our help. Though I'll admit this is a strange way of getting it.
Well, there you are, Gumph. Sorry it took so long. I could have broken the Bank of England in half the time, eh? Yeah.
Fourth from the top. I'd say Dr. Jekyll mixed these himself. Pack the drawer with straw, then wrap a sheet around it. That way I can carry it home without spilling the contents. Don't worry, Poole. I'm sure to see him this evening. You come from Dr. Jekyll?
Yes.
Edward Hyde.
at your service, Dr. Lanyon. And I wouldn't call the police if I were you. Not if you care about your friend, Henry Jekyll.
Henry? If you've harmed Henry, I swear I'll...
Dr. Jekyll is safe enough in the meantime. In fact, this was all his idea. Did you bring the cabinet drawer?
Yes. There, behind the chair.
Now watch carefully, Lanyon. I'm about to show you something that can bring you fame and power like you've never imagined.
Now look here, sir. You didn't come in the middle of the night to waste my time and speak in riddles. Now get on with it.
So be it. And now, Dr. Lanyon, for you, who for so long scorned the idea of a connection between medicine and the forces of good and evil.
Henry! Oh my God! It's you! Henry. I will never recover. A matter of weeks, if that.
My dear chap, surely with good medicine.
There is nothing I can take to change the way I feel. I wish there were.
Perhaps your illness is catching. Jekyll is sick too. Have you seen him lately?
Don't mention that name to me. I've finished with that man. I don't ever want to see or hear of him again.
He refuses to see me.
I'm not surprised. One day you might learn the truth of this, but don't ask me. Now, if you'd like to talk of other things, please stay. Otherwise, go.
I have your order from the chemist, Dr. Jekyll.
Here you are, Mr. Poole. Sit down.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
I only saw him for a minute, but it made my hair stand on end. If that was the master, why was he wearing a mask on his face?
Maybe he's caught one of those horrible diseases that marks your face.
That would explain the mask and his strange voice.
And not wanting to see his friends.
And why he needs that drug from the chemist.
And why he won't let us near him.
But I've served him 20 years. Why would he cry out like a rat and run from me?
I was picking herbs out in the side garden when suddenly this parcel was thrown from the window upstairs. Oh, it just missed me. Oh, scared me to death, it did. It had another note tied to it.
Quick, cook! The smelling salts!
Paul, this drug you brought me today is useless. Without delay, go again and send Bradshaw and Annie out as well, if necessary, to every chemist in London.
Glory be. You'll all be gone for weeks.
Good heavens, Poole. What brings you here at this hour? What is the matter?
Mr. Alderson, something's terribly wrong. There's been a horrible crime.
What sort of crime? Whatever do you mean?
I can't say what I mean, sir. Please come and see for yourself.
Thank goodness it's Mr. Alderson. Begging your pardon, sir. We're all so afraid.
He's been screaming for that drug again.
What drug?
We don't rightly know, sir, but whatever it's for, it's wanted very urgently. He wrote this note a week ago, and we can't get the right stuff for him. To Moore and Company, druggists. 2 years ago, I bought a large quantity of these drugs from you for experiments. What you sent me is inferior and will not work. Whatever the cost, for God's sake, find me the old stuff.
Did you get it?
We've been to every chemist in London. We don't know what to do next.
I knew it. Something bad's happened to the master. Oh, God! That's Mr. Hyde up there. He's murdering the master.
Good Lord. Hyde! Are you sure?
We fear it might be, sir.
Did you call the police?
You being Dr. Jekyll's lawyer, we thought you'd tell us what to do.
Well then, we must act. Ladies, you stay here. It's unlikely he'll get past us, but just in case, be on the ready. Calm yourself, Bradshaw. We're all nervous, but we'll soon put an end to it. You go round the corner and wait outside the back entrance. Whatever happens, I take all responsibility. If we have to, Poole and I will force our way into the study. We'll give you 10 minutes to be ready at your places. Go! Right. Down with the door. Now! There's something terribly sinister about all of this.
Look! The drugs we were searching for. And this. It's addressed to you, sir. It says, the last will and testament of Dr. Henry Jekyll.
What?
What is it, sir? Are you all right?
I'm stunned. Dr. Jekyll has left me his fortune. But if Hyde knew that, why did he not destroy this document?
Perhaps he never had time, sir, with us breaking in like we did.
Perhaps. What else is there?
The rest of the papers, sir. A letter written with today's date from the master. There are more notes, too.
I think we might find answers here to many of the puzzles that have troubled us. What we must do is try to save your master's reputation and good name.
Yes, sir.
Read all about it. Headline, found dead. Famous doctor disappears. Sensation, read all about it.
Well, at least he's at peace now.
Yes, small consolation. Dreadful business. Dreadful. We all know that buried here is our friend, Dr. Jekyll. Not the monster Edward Hyde, as the authorities think. I suggest we should tell no one of what we know. It would serve no purpose except to blemish the reputation of a fine man.
Besides, who would believe it anyway?
Indeed, who would believe it?
I think we should go.
God rest your soul, Dr. Jekyll.
The curse of the werewolf. Even a man who's pure of heart and says his prayers at night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the moon is full and bright.
The words seemed to echo in my skull. I struggled with something snarling and vicious within my soul. And when the madness passed...
You! Hold it right there! What in the name of... Good Lord!
The man I'd attacked was dead.
Some sort of animal. But Lord, the way it runs. Like a man.
There was a bridge, a muddy river. I dived in, my shoulder afire, with the agony of a glancing bullet. My arm. Somehow I got away. Where am I? How did I get here? What is this place? I ran. Under the light of the bright full moon, I ran. I must find my way home. Why am I here? Why? My skin is burning. My thoughts unclear. Why am I here? But the night gave me no answer, and I felt my dark dream slipping, and in a moment, I awoke. No! What? I'm home again. That dream. Each time I have it, the dream grows worse. It almost seemed real. Today, I'm a full-fledged 18 years old. My arm was slashed, just as it had been cut in the dream by a policeman's bullet. Suddenly, it all came flooding back. That dream. Was it a dream? Lord, what if it was real?
Jack, it's almost time for breakfast.
Yeah, I know, Mom. I guess I don't feel very hungry. Maybe I'll just rest in my room today and think. I had plenty to think about. I didn't know what was bothering me exactly. When evening came, I headed for a lonely stretch of beach. I felt myself fall forward. My vision blurred, and when it cleared, I saw a thing that made me scream. My hand! And in the sudden brilliance of unclouded moonlight, in the reflection of a muddy pool, I saw him for the first time. And I knew! I was a werewolf. I have no way of knowing how I spent those hours before dawn. I must have wandered until the beast who was myself died. When morning came...
Jack! Good Lord, where have you been? We've been searching for you everywhere. Jack!
I heard my stepfather's words only dimly.
Can you walk? Try to get to your feet. Lisa, fix him some coffee.
Yes, coffee.
I'm okay, Dad. I'm okay. The house was warm. Lisa, you're crying. What's wrong?
She can't answer you, Jack.
What? Why not?
Your sister's almost hysterical.
Dad, tell me, please. What's happening?
Tell you. If you'd been here, you'd know. Your mother was almost killed tonight, Jack. She's lucky to be alive. Something went wrong with the brakes of her car. She was searching for you, Jack.
Searching for me? Then she must have known. And now she may be dying. And it's my fault. All mine.
That's one way to see it, son.
Please, Mr. Russell, the boy's upset. Let me be with him alone.
I wish I could have said something to Dr. Allen.
You're mighty tense, lad. You can't blame yourself, you know.
I can't? Just watch me, Doc. He gave me a shot. Something to relax me, he said. Just as he was leaving, I heard the phone.
Yes, this is Mr. Russell. Unchanged? Yes, I see. But if Mrs. Russell should awaken, please tell her we've found Jack.
And then it all faded, melting into black. And when I woke, it was mid-afternoon. Mom! Lord, how could I sleep while she... I'd better get down to the hospital, find out how she is.
Mrs. Russell? Sorry, son, she's on the critical list. That means no one can see her. No one.
Sure, thanks. Somehow I've got to find out where she is. The doctor over there, talking about Mom. That must be her room. I'll just wait, and then... Lord!
Jack? Is it you?
Yeah, Mom. It's me, the professional prodigal son.
What's this? Please, try a smile for Mom.
Sure, Mom.
Jack, stop feeling so sorry for yourself. Your father would be ashamed, but you never knew what kind of a man he really was.
Mom.
Don't stop me, Jack. I won't be stopped. This is a part of your heritage I always ignored, pretended didn't exist. But now, I'm dying, and you have to be told.
Come on, Mom, don't say that. You live longer than me.
Jack, you don't understand. I've done you a terrible wrong. I've given you a curse. One that will live with you forever.
A curse? I
don't understand. How could you? Your father was a fine man. A man I met in a small Baltic state while just a student on a holiday abroad. A man I married and bore a son.
Ah, Jacob, you're a big lad, eh? Big like your father, bright like your mother.
Those first 2 years were idyllic, yet even then I could sense some dark secret that stood between us, a secret that blossomed like some wicked fruit once a month, when he would lock himself in the single musty tower and remain there for 3 days and 3 nights. He told me he studied his books on those nights, and for 2 years I tried to believe him, until that night of the storm, when a bolt of lightning tore out the tower's side. Later that same night, in the village below, the village carpenter made his way homeward through the street.
Who's... No!
But he never made it home again.
Aye, my lady. We need the Baron's aid, we do.
Everybody knows he's the most educated man in all the land.
Why, he's upstairs in the tower. This way, gentlemen. But he wasn't there, Jack.
Gone!
The demon must have taken the Baron, too.
But on the following night, as the townspeople hunted in the northern woods...
Here, in the shadows. Something moved.
Not just something, Jack, but the hideously deformed caricature of the man those peasants dared call...
Werewolf!
Though I wasn't there, I could hear the sound of them shooting silver bullets. I can hear that pitiful monster's cry every night, every moment I try to dream. For you see, the men came to me later and told me the horrible secret they'd uncovered.
It's him. Lord, it's the Baron.
My father? A werewolf? And maybe that explains it all.
How could I have told you, Jack? I'd read the family books. Knew it was an hereditary curse. One that you may well have been damned with. You, or even little Lissa.
And the curse?
To become a man-like beast. First on the night of your 18th year. And forevermore, whenever the full moon blooms.
Well, Mother, you might as well know what you've probably already guessed. The curse is mine. But why did it happen to our family? Why us? I could stay there no longer. Have to get away.
Jack!
Blackness blistered inside of me. All I could see was the moon. The moon. Something boiled up within me. An unearthly force tore my mind apart. I was changing into a werewolf once more. As my human mind slipped away, I felt the horror. A horror I would have to live with my whole life. Unless I could find out what had caused the curse. Perhaps then there would be a way out. Would a journey to my father's homeland bring the answers?
20 hours later, and across the large expanse of Transylvania...
This is it, Topaz. Rusov Manor. Among these old books, we're bound to find some of the answers. God knows, maybe all.
Jack, come here. I think I've found it.
Yes. This is exactly what I've been searching for, Topaz. Here, read this. How my great-great-great-grandfather became the werewolf. It began in 1795. That's a long time ago. Into the night, I read the diary. Words penned by the first member of my family to be stricken by the curse. How I survived this past week, I shall never know. It began. But I now fear the coming of each night.
Each full moon for the horrors that it brings me. It began 1 week before, and when it shall end, I fear I will never know.
Baron Rusov, I am sorry, but your wife, she's been slain by the vampire.
Louisa killed? By Dracula? He threatened if I did not kneel to his power that I would suffer. I must slay him. Gustav, lay my wife to rest. I have work that must be done. I go to kill the demon. Kessel Dracula was unguarded, for there were none in the village below who would have dared venture towards it save I. And so, making my entrance to the fiend's underground chambers was done with ease. You sleep in comfort, do you, Dracula? Then sleep tightly, dark beast, for you shall never waken again. The devil screamed as the wooden stake stabbed through his heart. But his scream lasted only one short, breathed moment, for in an instant, there were only ashes where flesh had once been. I threw his coffin in the cold Danube waters below. I thought revenge had been mine. Then I heard a muffled sound, a cry, and heaven help my foolish curiosity, I turned to its source. There was a door sealed with a wooden beam, and idiot that I was, I opened it to find a girl? Who are you, lass? And why are you imprisoned in this living hell?
I am called Lydia, sir. And it was Dracula who placed me here.
Damn devil! How long have you been here, girl?
1 month, sir. And kept alive only as long as my blood pleased him.
Live in fear no longer, Lydia. The fiend is dead. We walked beneath the moon and I talked, but my conversation was the last thing she cared about. For as the full silvered moon loomed above us, I heard a fierce, slavering growl, a wail from a being, neither human nor animal. And when I turned towards it, I saw the face of my death. Her claws glistened in the moonlight, but it was her eyes that transfixed and paralyzed me as my murderer sank her fangs into my neck. And from that moment on, I was cursed. And for the next 2 nights,
beneath the rising full moon, I became a mindless, rampaging werewolf. There's more to read, but not now.
But why did Dracula keep a werewolf locked away? What could he fear from it?
The diary said Dracula could not control the beast as he was able to control others. That there was something about her that made her impervious to his commands. Which probably means that Dracula's command won't affect me, and that I'll be the one who'll be able to stop him. Maybe that's it, Topaz. Maybe if I can defeat Dracula, the curse of the werewolf will be broken.
You must be careful, Jack. Dracula is very powerful.
Looks like I'm going to have company tonight. Unexpected company. I see those 2 young fools from Rosov Manor wish to enter my castle. Good. Very good indeed.
Dracula leaps from the tower roof and flies once again as the raven-winged bat.
Topaz, run! It's Dracula attacking!
But before the girl can move,
Topaz! Good Lord, he's taken her. I'll find you, Topaz! That I swear!
as Jack Russell scales the peak to Castle Dracula, he is bathed in the light of the full moon, and Jack Russell once again becomes the werewolf. However, inside the castle...
My dear young lady, welcome to my castle. I hope you will enjoy my hospitality.
Suddenly, he hears the harsh, guttural growling of the werewolf.
What? A beast attacks here in my castle? Now he shall finally perish!
The battle begins. Dracula commands the beast to stop, to halt. But this is a new breed of beast. It attacks. Dracula's orders affect it not, for the werewolf bites its ivory fangs deeper and deeper into Dracula's neck, until Dracula turns, his face burning with bloodthirsty rage, and leaps at the werewolf's throat. Back and forth they writhe in deadly combat, and soon it's obvious. Neither can win, but neither will lose.
You fight well, werewolf. Take the girl and go, and pray that we never meet again. For the next time, I will not be so kind. Until the next time...
With that, the bat that once was Dracula rises into the night, and the curse of the werewolf remains bloodied, but unbroken.
I shot him 3 years ago. A real man killer. It was in Bengal. I got this one in Bavaria. A real giant of an animal.
There's something almost human about him. I would almost say he was laughing at us.
I wouldn't exactly say that. Just observe the look in his eyes. He looks as if he hates us.
Perhaps when he was alive, he was something more than just a wolf.
Something other than a wolf? What do you mean?
Perhaps he could have been a man. A werewolf.
Of course, a werewolf. A lycanthrope. Legend has it that a man is turned into a wolf whenever there's a full moon. The only way he can be killed and put out of his misery is by the hand of a woman who loves him enough to pierce his heart with a silver weapon, a silver bullet, for instance.
Ah, I understand why you didn't come and join us. It's such an interesting topic. You were saying it could have been a man, a werewolf.
I killed him myself, and I promise you I used an ordinary lead bullet.
Henry, you're quite an expert of the human brain and how it functions, aren't you? I understand that your grandfather went even further in his studies about split personalities. Now tell us, do you really think there's any valid argument to support this kind of trickery?
I don't think this is the time nor the place to explain my theories. By the way, have you ever read A Midsummer Night's Dream?
Yes, of course. Why?
In the play, an event of quite some importance takes place. A man is turned into an ass. Be careful it doesn't happen to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you good night. Imra, Justine, I wish you a very happy honeymoon.
Henry,
I'm sorry, Justine.
I'm sure Stark didn't mean to offend you.
I know too well what he was getting at. Believe me, it's best that I leave. I wouldn't want to ruin your party. Goodbye, Justine. And I wish you only happiness.
Goodbye, Henry. We'll see you when we get back.
I just don't understand. There was no hidden rancor in what I said. I can't imagine what happened to him.
Now, Henry is like this at times. I wouldn't worry about him. And it's better just to leave him alone. Now, please, let's enjoy ourselves. Believe me, in all of my life, I've never looked forward to anything with such great pleasure as I have to this trip. I'll return to the place where I was born, walk the streets of my beloved village, visit my parents' graves. Balyavasta, that's the name of the village. I left when I was only a child. But I have always kept the memory of it in my heart.
Well, who would have thought it? Imre Kostat, a cold, merciless businessman, is, in the final analysis, a romantic at heart, filled with nostalgia to return to the village where he was born.
Never forget that I am Hungarian, and no Hungarian can forget his homeland. It's the place where he was born.
A honeymoon in Transylvania, right in the middle of the Carpathian Mountains? Really, Imre, you might have waited a little longer to return to your village.
Agatha, it was I who urged Imre to go to Transylvania. The idea fascinates me. It must be gorgeous. I can't wait.
You mustn't forget to pack a cross and a few heads of garlic in your luggage. I understand there are thousands of vampires in that part of the world.
My word, it's 3 already.
We really must go.
You're leaving tomorrow, and you'll have to be getting up early in the morning.
Have a wonderful honeymoon.
And a wonderful trip. You lucky people. Don't forget to write.
I won't.
Good night.
When are we going to get to this village? It's almost night.
We should be pretty near now. Now, Justine, please, don't start getting yourself nervous.
And they told us in Bistritz that Valiavastra was only 40 kilometers away. I'm sure we've traveled more than that. There aren't any signs. There isn't anything anywhere.
Damn it. The car. That's all we needed. Get out of here. Easy, easy. Don't worry, Justine. It was nothing.
It was Bela. He wanders about in that area, and everybody is afraid to go near him. Funny thing is that once he was a rich and respected man. Then the sickness. Then someone burned down his house, destroyed his lands, set his dogs against him. His own friends started throwing stones at him. He was slowly driven to madness. And now he wanders around the area like a living dead man, just rotting away.
A leper. Well, he certainly scared the hell out of us, especially my wife.
The very best person you could possibly have met that you arrived. This part of the country is filled with thieves and worse things. When the nighttime comes, the best thing to do is to shut yourself securely up in your house, making sure all your doors and windows are tightly bolted.
I'd like to go to the cemetery tomorrow.
Which one? There are two, you know. The old one and the new one.
The people I'm looking for were buried in 1938.
Then it's the old one. The new one was built in 1945, just after the war ended. It would be better that you didn't visit the old one.
Why? I don't understand.
Oh, that old cemetery is an evil place. They say that those souls doomed to hellfire get out from their graves, attacking anyone who comes near the place. There have been many people who have met a horrible death by going near that cemetery.
It's the living I fear, not the dead.
Also, very near to the cemetery, there is the Black Castle. The owner who lives there is a monster. I beg of you, don't go near there. Do you hear me?
Incredible. From what I've seen around here, we're still living in the Middle Ages. Sorry, but your arguments just don't convince me. I'm going to that cemetery tomorrow. I've come all the way from England to do just that.
All right, don't say that I haven't warned you.
Did they take up the drink I asked you for my wife?
Of course. I prepared the drink myself before joining you. You really have a young and beautiful wife. It would be awful if something should happen to her.
Good night.
Good night. Have a good rest.
I've never seen anything so frightening in my life. It gives me the shivers.
It's this way. Come on, Justine.
Imre, how did they die? You've never told me.
They were murdered. Someone got into the house at night and hacked them to bits with an axe. I was in B Street staying with relatives, so I was saved. murderers were never found. I was 7 years old when it happened. My aunt and uncle emigrated to England, taking me with them.
Imre, that must be the castle the innkeeper told us about.
They're robbing my car. I've got to stop them.
Imre! Imre! Oh, for God's sake! No! Leave them alone!
What are you doing?
Imre, no!
It's him. Look. Look.
I told you, Otmos. I warned all 3 of you. Don't go near the old cemetery or the castle.
Well, they looked like they were pretty rich. We could have made a good haul. You know what? I'm not stupid enough to believe the stories they tell about what's going on around here anyway. Nor do I believe what they've been saying about the person who lives in that castle.
You're both young and new around these parts. But let me tell you, it's the devil himself who walks through that old cemetery and the regions around it. There've been a lot of horrible deaths already.
Don't forget one thing, though. Ferenc and Pavlik. My brothers are dead.
And have you seen that old woman who lives in the castle? She comes frequently down to the village. People are scared stiff of her.
That would be Usvika Bathory. And everybody's afraid of her because she's a witch. And anyone who tries to harm or disobey her would get the evil eye. And that would be the end of him. They say she breastfed the monster who lives in the castle.
You crazy damned old idiot. How in the hell can you believe in any of these crazy old wives' tales? I'll bet you, with one good shot, I'd get rid of the witch and of the monster.
Don't worry, Valdemar. She will get well. I'll take care of her.
What she's gone through has left her with very little resistance. She may even go mad, lose her reason. She might even die.
Trust old Usvika. I tell you, she'll get well.
Tell me, Durso, have you found another way to get in?
Yeah. And it's near to the cemetery. I saw old Uzvika go in, come out of it. Also the leper. It must lead to the castle cellars.
It'll be easy. We'll take them by surprise, kill them, and then raid the castle. We'll be rich, and my brothers will be avenged.
I like the plan. When do we do it?
Tonight. Why wait?
But there'll be a full moon tonight.
So what? Now, don't you start with these crazy wives' tales. I'm getting fed up with hearing about them.
You saw him fight. He killed your brothers. You yourself said he was a demon.
Yeah, he's strong and he fights well. But he's only a man. And you'll find that out soon enough after we fill him full of lead. He'll die just the same as anybody.
Yeah, that's right. Where will we meet?
Midnight. At Hangman's Crossing.
You hear? Did you hear that?
Sound like a frightened old woman. It's only a wolf.
There now, little one. You're not to worry. You're safe and among friends. It's Valdemar. He saved your life. Don't you remember?
Imre. Imre. Oh, my God.
Now I know it's true. The monster killer does exist. And I've got to kill him.
You won't, Artfus. He's the devil's own son. You'll just wind up getting yourself killed. I do not think you will find anybody in the village of Balyavasta who will risk helping you. Nobody.
The Daninsky family are of Polish origin and settled in Balyavasta several hundred years ago. I came as a servant when Valdemar was born. His mother died soon after, so I had to take care of him. Then his father was killed during the war, and the child and I were left all alone together.
Uzvika, what's the matter with Valdemar? Why should he want to live here, so far away from everyone?
Valdemar is ill. He is very ill.
Ill? Ill? Well, what's the matter with him?
Justine, I'd like you to know, you need have no fear of me, and that I would like to help you.
Valdemar, what is happening? I know you saved my life, and I'm grateful for that. But what is happening?
I don't know. Believe me, you can be sure of it.
Valdemar, take me to B Streets. There must be somebody there who could help us.
Please, Justine, trust me. I know it's difficult, but there's no other solution. In a few days, I promise, I'll take you away from here. Justine! It's all right. Don't be afraid. In a few days, you'll be far away from here.
And you? What will you do? Valdemar, I have a feeling that you too are in great danger. Why don't you come away too?
I can't. It's my destiny. I have to follow it through.
I know that you're ill. Why can't you trust me?
Justine, I can't tell you anything. I swear it. Believe me.
It's the village people, and those that live around you, who want to kill you. And they have their reasons. Am I right?
Gyo-Gyo, we've got to get rid of him, once and for all. It's the only way that your womenfolk and your children are going to be safe, don't you understand? There's enough silver in the village to make all the bullets we need for the guns. But we've got to act before the next full moon.
They are demons, and there is nothing we can do to them. Nothing.
You think so? I'll show you just how wrong you are. Do you hear me?
Now, don't move in this bedroom, Justine. This is going to be a horrible night. No one, not even I, can help you. I'll lock you in. And tomorrow, I'll come for you. And we'll go to Balivasta.
Kill the monster! Kill the monster! Kill him! Kill him! Curse him! Kill the monster! Kill him!
Listen to me, everybody. I brought you something you'll be glad to see. Look. Look here. Uspika battery. The all-powerful witch you were all so afraid of. Here's her head. I surprised her on the way over here. Here's all the power she has.
Listen to me, all of you. The moment has come to kill the monster. Return to your homes and bring all the silver you have to the forge. Go!
Kill the monster! Come on, kill!
I was waiting for you. I knew you would come this way. I'll avenge my brothers myself. It's your turn, you dirty damn pig!
Believe me, Henry. Everything I've told you, absolutely everything is true.
Justine, I can't believe a thing like this. It's impossible.
Do you remember the night before we left for our honeymoon? You made reference to the wolf Imre shot in Bavaria. I was impressed by what you had to say, but now I realize it was a premonition.
But it was all a joke, a simple joke. These creatures simply do not exist.
Henry, you think I'm going insane, don't you?
Not at all. But it's evident that what you've been through has affected you deeply. It could happen to anyone.
Then you don't believe me, Henry.
A werewolf. So unreal, so fantastic that...
But how can you, precisely you, Henry Jekyll, be so skeptical? I've come to you because you're the only person in the world that can possibly help Valdemar. But now, I don't know.
I'll try to help you. But first, I must convince myself.
We'll do anything you say. I'll be so grateful, Henry.
There'll be a full moon very soon. At that time, I want Valdemar to come to the clinic. We'll put him under observation.
But Henry, he's not sick, nor is he mad. It's something much, much worse. When he gets these crises, he becomes a killer, a destructive monster.
Don't worry, we'll have everything prepared. At any rate, I can only help you if you follow my orders.
Very well. I'll bring him to the clinic.
He alone. You'll stay away until I make a decision.
But Henry,
That's the way it must be. Trust in me.
All right. He'll come alone.
He should come at mid-afternoon. That will give us a margin of time to be prepared for the crisis when it comes.
It's just marvelous. Valdemar's waiting, and he'll be so pleased. For the first time, he'll have some hope.
She's very lovely.
And very unhappy.
You're still in love with her, aren't you?
Yes. I've always loved her, and I still do.
She needs you now. Isn't that true?
She's been through a horrible experience during which she lost her husband. She told me an absurd, utterly fantastic story, which nevertheless might have some basis of truth to it. I'll soon find out. Sandra, I'm going to need your help in an experiment. Perhaps one of the most difficult we've ever tried. We'll use the formula discovered by my grandfather to change his personality to that of the evil assassin he called Hyde.
Good and evil. The eternal makeup of all human beings. And which we can change with a chemical formula. It's fascinating. I'll help you, Henry, as I've always done.
We'll be safe here. The place has been abandoned for years, and there's not a living soul about.
Justine, it's all my fault that you have to hide away, not see your family. Change your life. Perhaps, being with me, you'll die.
Henry will cure you. Have faith, Valdemar. I love you very much.
Dr. Jekyll's office.
6th floor, sir.
They've been trapped in that elevator more than 2 hours now. I feel sorry for them.
It's a serious breakdown. We'll fix it soon.
I can't understand why he hasn't come.
Perhaps he'll never come. Because it just might be that this creature only exists in your friend's imagination.
There's no time left. Why? Why did this have to happen? Oh.
After what happened at the clinic, it would be impossible for us to carry on the treatment there.
Now what?
We'll set up a laboratory here. You said that the attics had a direct outlet to the exterior, didn't you?
Yes, they have. At one time, they were used for storing the family harvest.
Perfect. That way, we can bring in exactly what we need without any trouble.
Doctor, can I be cured?
I don't know, Valdemar, but we'll try. My grandfather discovered a formula which succeeded in changing a human being's personality. Hyde was a sublimation of evil, pure, absolute. Now, there is a similar evil in the question of werewolves. I developed another formula while investigating the error which caused my grandfathers to be useless when used as an antidote. It all led to failure and made the Jekyll name an infamous one. But perhaps because of that error, we'll be able to save you.
Henry, how will you do it?
On the evening chosen, and before we have a full moon, I'll inject Valdemar with the formula which will turn him into a Mr. Hyde. That is, the evil part of his character, which will be strong and powerful. And when the moon is full, he'll fight against the mutation which the same full moon produces on him to turn him into a werewolf.
Go on.
This will be the moment when the risk is greatest. If I see that Hyde wins over, I'll inject the antidote, thus freeing him from both demons. We shall be successful, and you'll be free forever, Valdemar.
When will you do it?
Possibly, if everything goes well, during the next full moon.
There are complications. The newspapers are filled with nothing except stories of a new lunatic murderer on the loose. A sadist worse than Jack the Ripper. Scotland Yard alerted and working day and night. Will the crimes continue? Indeed, Henry. And these are only some of the headlines.
Have you taken care of the supplies? Was there any difficulty?
No, none at all, Henry. I've hired some men we can trust. There'll be no problem. Of course. The commissioner. He came back to the clinic. Wants to talk to you again.
We have to proceed with the utmost caution. If the police find out what we're doing, we're finished. Cardiogram. Encephalogram. Blood test syringe. Just as I expected. During the transmutation, the blood cells took on characteristics of those of a wolf. There are also profound alterations in the nerve cells and the general organic structure of the body. The change in the genotype is almost complete. And the electrodes confirm a great diminishment of the brain cells with a radical change of the hypothalamus and the cerebral cortex. And now I have the exact data necessary to prepare the formula. Valdemar, the possibilities of saving you are even greater now. But you must leave us to our work. Go on.
Do you really intend to cure him?
Of course. I'm going to try, and I think I'll succeed. We only have to wait till the next full moon.
Are you mad? You have in your hands possibilities your grandfather never dreamed of having. If you cure him, the experiment will have ended. And with it, the possibility of obtaining a power that would be limitless. Knowledge that could give us absolute control of the mind. Even the souls of human beings could be ours, Henry.
They trust me, and I shall help them.
During all these years, I've lived only for you. I've been your mistress and your friend. I've helped you with your work because I believed in you. I admired your intelligence and your ambition. I've even resorted to criminal action to obtain what you wish.
To criminal action?
And what have we done at the clinic? How many patients have died like hopeless guinea pigs? Don't you remember it all?
It was all necessary, and you know it.
And now, it's no longer necessary. It's because of her, isn't it? You just can't forget her. First, she threw you over for that peasant of a clown, Imre. And now, for a stupid animal. Remember, Henry, the very deepest love can easily change to the very deepest hatred.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Will it be tonight?
Yes, everything is ready.
I'm very frightened, Henry. If it should fail.
Everything's going to be all right. And Valdemar will be cured.
And Sandra?
She's gone to London. We needed some supplies.
She hates me. And I believe her capable of doing anything.
Like me, she's a frustrated person. She's loyal, though. She'll do all she can to help. Don't worry, we'll succeed.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you.
You'll remain in your room tonight while the experiment takes place. It won't be pleasant. Any problems?
None at all. The police haven't returned to the clinic, and everyone believes you're on a trip to the United States.
Set me free. I've got to be free. My blood is boiling. Do you hear? Boiling.
The equilibrium's been broken again. We have once more absolute evil.
It's Hyde. Valdemar's Hyde. We're seeing it.
When the moon comes up,
Hyde will win over the werewolf, and we shall win over him with the antidote. Let's hope nothing goes wrong and that we can save Valdemar.
Let me go. You ignorant pig. Let me go! No, I want to live. I've got to live.
We've done it, Valdemar. To be cured now.
I told you, Henry, the deepest love can also turn into the deepest hatred.
Hey, friend. Good evening. Why give me a light?
Henry, what happened? Who did this to you?
Sandra tried to kill me, but listen carefully. There's no time.
But what can we do to end all this? Oh, Henry.
There's only one possibility. Experiment wasn't completed. Only a first phase. 3, perhaps more, are necessary. The drug will wear off. And if Hyde doesn't apply more, it'll become weaker. In that case, when there's another full moon, the werewolf will reappear. Valdemar...
Will he continue suffering?
No. He'll become free. His body will die. But his soul will find peace. You must...
But what must I do?
You must destroy the serum. That sooner or later Hyde will need. Then wait for the full moon. Because Valdemar, as a man or as a werewolf, will return. The laboratory. Walk to the right. Almost at floor level. You'll find a box. Inside, you find a gun loaded with silver bullets. Then also some papers. Destroy them for God's sake. Keep out of sight. Until you must stay outside until the full moon comes out. You rub with your strength. And you'll succeed.
Stupid bitch. Jekyll wasn't dead. Now, we've even lost Justine.
I was taken by surprise. There was nothing I could do.
They'll try and destroy me now. And it's your fault, bitch. Damn your soul. You took the serum. And it means my life to me. I'll leave this place. The city is better. I'm strong. I won't weaken. And I won't need the serum. Ever again.
Excuse me a minute. I have to go and say hello to some friends. I'll be right back.
I'm strong. I'm weak.
Hey, who are you? Where's my friend? Valdemar.
Says his prayers at night can change to a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the full moon shining bright.